No, I like you.
Oh.
I like how loud you are.
Yeah, no one ever says that. That's a first.
All right, we're going to start because we're just going to do this anyway. And you're going to be loud as all get out, right?
Yeah. Well,
all right, good.
No,
good,
and
good.
your projection today was so good. I was trying to watch a video and I couldn't watch it because you were doing your job or whatever.
Oh, you were trying to screw off at rehearsal
exactly.
and she was just drawing you in?
I was like, I can't hear anything,
That's
Skylar.
beautiful. I love that already. So we're sitting on the stage at Southview High School.
It's awesome.
Do you guys say Sylvania Southview?
Ooh, only when I'm
Sylvania?
applying to colleges.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It gets called that a lot on TV and gets everything, but it's like it is Northview High School and Southview High School that are in Sylvania. So why do people do that?
It's the official name, I suppose. But
Is it
for
the official name?
Yeah, but I think for everybody in Northwest Ohio that knows the schools, you don't feel the need to say it.
Right.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know. Is it like Toledo Whitmer or is it just Whitmer?
I think that one's just Whitmer.
Right. But so nobody's
Because
sitting there
that's
saying
not part of Toledo Public, though.
right. But I just don't understand why they would do that. I don't know. You are one of the few school districts I know of that do that, and I just thought maybe we were screwing up on TV.
I got nothing on that.
Yeah, period.
It could be like I know we say Tiffin Columbian, and I'm like, hold up, it's just called Columbian. Okay, it's just into Tiffin and all kinds of stuff. But we're sitting actually on the stage. You're listening to Stage Door, a theater podcast hosted by a couple of average guys. Ron's with me today, and we have Gabby, and we have Mrs. Shepard, and we have Skylar. Thank you. My brain almost farted there.
Yeah.
Do you want me to call you Mrs. Shepard the entire time?
God, no.
What would you
The
like me to
kids don't
call
even
you?
call me that. They
Okay.
just call me Shep. They call me
Shep.
Shep or Mama Shep. Yeah, it's
Mama Shep or Shep?
Or Shep, yeah.
Okay, I won't
Shep's
do that
good.
anymore then. I didn't know what was going on. So, man, okay, first of all, I've been trying to get Southview on for a hot minute, and I've been messaging through the Instagram account, and Mrs. Shep, is that wrong already?
just Shep. Just Shep.
Is not an Instagrammer, are you?
Well, I am. I do like the Instagram, but I'm really bad. This is why I like emails, because I can click mark as unread, and then it triggers me to remember it. So if I read it on Instagram, I forget it immediately.
That's okay. You are actually very active on Instagram. That is one of the great things I like about the program already, is I get to see all the stuff. You obviously seem very excited and really enjoy the program that's going on, as opposed to maybe some of these old fart directors that are just like going through the motions. But I see you, and I see the program, and I see everything that's going on, and you did this big old tease for your shows, and I was actually trying to guess the whole thing.
It was funny. Last year, we even had somebody who said, I'm overseas. I don't even know where you are, and I can't stop watching this.
What?
When I was taking down, it's when I did the posters last year, and we took down one
That's
every
what
day.
I was talking about,
Yep.
yeah.
And
What did that show end up being?
Anything Goes.
Anything
Which was
Goes.
not originally even on my radar last year.
Why?
I had done it before. I wasn't ready to repeat one, but it was a year that we really should have been doing a classic. I really try to make sure that in the 4 years, the students have a good variety
That's
of
nice.
production. So they're going to have a Disney production. They're going to have...
They're going to have a Disney every 4 years for sure?
Usually, yeah. A
Oh,
Disney or some
okay.
type of children's, because Shrek isn't Disney. But
No, that's the same
but it
feeling.
falls in the
though,
genre,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you're going to come to the auditions, you're going to audition and sing a princess song.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
So they're going to have something like that. They're going to have a traditional type show.
Gotcha.
So
Traditional.
Rodgers and Hammerstein, Cole Porter.
So a classic.
Pre
yeah.
1970s.
Okay.
They're going to have a pop rock show.
Okay, so something that they would never maybe have gone and seen. A show.
Potentially, yeah.
Like Anything Goes.
Yep. And then I try to make sure with their fall plays, it's the same thing. I want to make sure that they have usually a social issues piece, that they have a comedy, that
you
they
guys have
a drama.
fall. You have a fall play too. Gabby, did you know Anything Goes before you did it?
I did not.
Didn't know it. Oh, it's a great dancey thing. Did you learn how to dance like crazy
yeah,
in that
actually,
show?
Skylar and I were both angels in the show, and
Angels?
so we had to learn
Okay.
how to tap.
Massive
we're
tappers.
We're not dancers,
Oh.
but we became dancers that show.
Okay, who's? Do you have the same choreographer all the time?
Oh, she does it all.
It's Shep also.
Shep.
Oh my gosh! So you made them learn how to dance, how to tap?
I actually think that teaching tap is my forte, because when you break it down the way my college back at Ohio Northern, the way they
we got an ONU polar bear grad
Polar
here.
bears.
But the way they broke it down, Brenda broke it down. Everything is made of 5 sounds. And once you know that, you can put all of those sounds together and make every step. So teaching it from those fundamentals, from
Sounds
the very
of the
basics.
feet hitting the floor.
Brush, spank, toe, heel, dig.
Brush, spank, toe, heel, dig.
So
that
these
was-
guys were all learning how to do time
Now
steps
they're
and
tapping
everything
right
else.
now.
Yep.
Yep.
And that was a little shout out to Brenda, the
Yes,
choreographer there.
Absolutely.
So you guys had to learn. So had you known anything, Skylar, about how to tap?
No.
No. So did anybody know how to tap when you started? And you just
Bailey?
Very small
Yeah.
handful.
Very
A very
small.
small handful. So I used to do tap club after school. So once or twice a week, they would come and learn the fundamentals. And then by opening night, we were able to look somewhat decent.
Spend our lunch
I wasn't sure
period
because you guys
tapping.
got a pretty decent dance team here too.
Yes, we do.
And a dance program that is. So I wasn't sure if any of those dancers came in and started to do.
Often they do. The last few years, I used to have a lot more of them. The last
Okay.
few years, they always have competitions because they're also at studios. And our spring musical falls at the same time as all the dance team competitions.
Yeah,
at
they are. A
studios.
lot of them are all at local studios and everything. There's a bunch that go to Gravity, I know, because it's
Right.
right down the street in Sylvania. And then so they're busy doing those competitions. They're busy doing their own cougarette competitions. And then it's time. Always having time, right?
We got a couple of them. I've got a cheerleader right here. We got a handful actually of cheerleaders in the show, so they
Yeah.
always help me when we're doing things like
You're a cheerleader,
stunts.
Gabby?
Oh, yes.
That's
I've
why
been
you said
cheering
your
since I
mouth
was 2.
was you were able to project really well. That's what you said.
That's probably why. I don't know.
Or you were just made for it anyway. Then in general, right?
Yeah, my mom actually named me because she thought Gabby would look cute on a megaphone in the gym. True
Get-
story.
Get out of town.
Swear.
Seriously?
Yep.
So she just knew, like, when you were in
she
the womb?
coached cheer. It wasn't an option. I was 2 years old and started cheering. And yeah, this is my last season. Was this last fall? So it was pretty tough.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
No winter cheerleading.
No, I ended up doing. I used to cheer like competitively. I'd probably put in 15, 20 hours a week. But now I just did football cheerleading all through high school,
There you
and
go.
it was really great. But moving on with my life.
On,
Yeah.
moving on. Next stage in life, heading off to whatever's in post graduation time. And
Yeah,
everything.
hopefully theater there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. I love that. Let's talk about the program here, though, at Southview, because I don't really know anything. And all I know is when I stalk your Instagram page. So
Stalk
I wanna-
away.
Yeah, no, I do. I stalk everybody to see what's going on. Like I said before, I tried to get you on, and it was so hard to get you on because you are busy. Holy free holies, you guys are busy doing. So how many things do you do?
Too many.
Too many?
And
it's all you?
Yeah. I've taken a little bit of a step back this year because I used to
Skylar, why don't
also.
you help her out some more? What the
Yes,
heck?
Skylar.
I need something. I used to also coach speech and debate, so at least I've
Okay.
taken a step back from that. But
Which is theatrical also.
100%, absolutely. So in addition to the fall play and the spring musical, we also have at Southview one of less than 20 in the state of Ohio career tech programs for the performing
She
arts.
said golly. I already like that. Sorry. Gee,
Watching
golly, we
my-
have
watching my mouth.
Career tech.
career tech.
Yes.
Okay.
So just like you can focus on construction or cosmetology or horticulture, I said, why are we losing so many kids to other schools like Love TSA, but why
Yeah.
would we not keep them here? I have my master's in theater. Like, I can teach these. So their senior year, they can focus on theater for 2 periods a day, just like they would for other career tech programs. So they take dance, acting, stagecraft, and musical theater.
Oh,
so then
wow.
we're also
stage
doing
acting, music. What is it again?
dance, acting,
Dancing,
Stagecraft.
dance, acting, stagecraft,
and then musical theater.
and then musical theater.
Yep.
Okay. So you teach those 4 classes
And several others.
and others.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely awesome.
But
'cause
that's to get a musical or a theater tech.
Stagecraft
certificate.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the career technical license, though.
Okay. I want to hear more about these things. Tell me what
career
these things
technical
are.
license.
Yes. So as a teacher, you have to get your teaching license. But in addition to that, now most of the people with the career tech program have come from industry. So they've worked in construction and now they're teaching construction. They've worked in culinary arts and now they're teaching it. In my situation, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. It's what I was so dorky, but I knew I wanted to be a theater teacher when I was 8 years old.
Love to all the young ones out there.
Honestly, it's funny because
No, it's not funny. It's great.
I had to fall back on performing for a short time. I could not find a job teaching, and I had to fall back on performing. And I was like, it's not supposed to work this way. It's
No, it's
everybody
not.
says it's supposed to be the
That's
other way.
weird.
So I already had my teaching license, and I added on the career tech so that we could have the program here.
Awesome.
And
But-
it also helped get me out of teaching English.
So someone who goes through this, they're qualified. They're ready to hit college and get a job in
Ideally,
backstage. Is it backstage?
No,
stuff?
it's. I really try to give them a well-rounded. So like these two are performers, but they had to go through stagecraft as well and are OSHA certified and everything.
We are.
Learning the power
All
tools.
right. Oh, power tools, Skylar.
Yeah.
You're getting the saber saws? Is that the right term? I don't even know. No, the reciprocating saw. Do you work the reciprocating? No, probably not that, right?
She likes power tools.
Power tool?
You had to jigsaw it. You had to jigsaw and miter saw it.
Yeah, the jigsaw and miter saw. You have to build. So, are you building the sets for this particular show that you're going to be doing in the spring?
I mean, I did help a little bit, like when we were building this set, but yeah.
Most of her time is at rehearsals.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you guys, because you're on stage, if you even have time. But you said it's classes during the day. So during the day,
but I still have a ton of kids that aren't in those classes that participate after school.
Okay, but are the pieces that are in this stage tech class being used in the show?
Stagecraft is every other year, so
Okay.
next year it will be potentially, or they make them for the productions that we do for those classes.
Okay, very cool. So you'll have productions for the class that you have too?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, is this class packed? It sounds like it'd be fun.
Depends on the year. Depends
Really?
on the year. Usually it's fairly full. Right now I have 25 in there.
That seems packed.
Yeah.
So-
The 25, yeah, that seems very packed. To
when
me.
you put power tools in their
Yes,
hands, or
exactly.
you're trying to teach a dance class of 25 kids, yeah, it's pretty big.
Oh yeah, you're teaching. So then the same kids that are sawing with the table saws and building and painting then have to go dance
And tap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and have to learn how. Which one do you prefer, Gabby? Do you prefer the tapping or the table saws?
Tapping. Any day.
I don't know. Some people like it. You know, my son does on stage stuff too, but he did a backstage class and he was just like, roll up the sleeves. I get to do some stuff. And it's like,
I like to drill. That's
okay.
pretty much.
I think it's important that they understand both sides. It gives you an appreciation. You realize, oh wow, I didn't realize your side was that hard. So I think every performer should have to do technical work at some time, and every techie should have to be
There's
on stage
the one
sometime.
I wanted to
Yes,
hear.
yes.
So how come?
Yes.
Because I hear it all the time where they're always like, "Oh, every performer on stage should go backstage because we're working hard. And it's like, okay, why don't you go out in the middle of the stage and sing in front of a full house, a solo? Oh, you don't have to do it the other way. But
Right.
I think it's so both ways, so they can at least come in and be in a chorus and understand the work
Exactly.
that's involved.
We've
talked to many people who just showed up at a stage, picked up a power tool, and now they're full-time
Yeah.
working
Professional.
professionals.
But that you have to learn how to eat. It's your survival job.
Learn how to eat.
Well, how
Yeah.
how are you going to pay the bills when you don't have a performing job? What are you going to do? Do you graphic design? Do you help
Yeah.
build sets? Like, what do you do? So I recognize that not all of these students are going to go on and pursue a career in the arts. My goal for them is that they're going to be lifelong lovers of the performing arts.
Exactly.
And if they choose to go on into it, great. Then hopefully they have a step up with this program.
Yeah. So what is your favorite classes of the four that she just mentioned?
I would say mine was probably the musical theater one,
Okay.
since that's just what I want to go into in the future. But I liked all of them.
Okay. You want to go into musical theater for after you so you get out of here, you want to continue on and do this
Hopefully.
Um,
stuff?
Yeah.
Like what year are you?
I'm a senior right
You're
now,
senior.
but I just got accepted into Bowling Green's musical theater
Nice.
program.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if you were a junior, then you would just be starting the process. But now you've already,
Nope.
oh yeah, big exhale. I bet. I'm sure. Did you
Yeah.
audition for like 47 schools, that kind of thing?
No, I honestly was kind of just hoping that I was going to get into BG, and then if I didn't, I was going to figure it out. But things went really well, so.
But
Okay.
do as much backstage as you can, because my son, he performs on stage, and now he's got a full-time backstage job.
Very true. Very true.
Making a living.
But also, I like the fact that I like your attitude that you said, like, if it didn't work out, I'll do something and I'll figure it out. You know, a lot of people stress themselves out about, you know, this is the exact goal I need to have, and if it veers from there, then they have the breakdown. And it's like, you can't act like that in the theater world. That's not how life.
and we've talked to so many people who their path to the
Oh, my
stage
gosh.
is crazy different. Nobody's the same, and it's not the same the way they thought it would go, and you still get there.
How about you, Gabby?
I what's my favorite class?
Yeah. of the-
Way back.
Of course, musical theater.
Oh,
Okay.
Are you
okay.
kidding? I too want to go into musical theater. I actually have my audition at BG next month during our Tech Week, Miss Shep. So
Great.
So you're a senior also?
I am also senior. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, you guys are. Oh, I kicked my own microphone. Okay. All right, so you guys are just. You brought the ringers.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
did.
Couple of
You
rock
had,
stars.
yeah. Do you have a lot of people from the program that want to go out and do this?
I would say I have these two. I'm trying to think of anybody else from this year. Several last year. I have several students that are freshmen in college pursuing
So
Gala Price
on an
6.
annual basis, you at least have somebody who
Yes.
goes out and decides they want to do
Currently, we have 2 that are working on Broadway in set design.
this. Oh.
One that went through, did some of my shows. It wasn't my program.
Let's hear
'cause-
those names. You know the names?
Yes, Sohn Plenifish
Okay.
is working with set design.
What's
She's
the
a charge
first name?
artist. Sohn, S-O-H-N.
Sohn Plenifish. Okay.
And Theron Weininger,
Okay.
he went to CCM, and he is working in New York City on set design.
He went to CCM. That's a terrible one.
Right.
But he went there for tech, and they're like one of the top tech
schools
schools
in the world. Yep.
Yeah, so he went there. So wow.
Yep, Tommy Cobalt did a couple of different shows here. The last I knew, he had one of his headpieces. He's a milliner, so he does hats and headpieces, was in every single Broadway show.
He's
Something
a what?
that
A milliner?
Is that the right word? I think
I
that's the
don't know.
word,
I
right?
have no
Yeah,
idea.
he makes hats.
Listen, we are
That-
average guys who don't know anything
That's
about
a career
theater.
in theater?
So
Is hats?
he went into costume design.
Costume design.
And then focused on hats and headwear. And at
And-
one point in time, every show had one of his hats or headpieces.
Wow.
And that's kind of cool.
Well, every show has a hat. I mean, seriously, there isn't a show out there that doesn't have some sort
Well,
of head cover on it.
we learned something new.
A milliner.
Milliner, hat maker.
Aaron Duffy is stage managing, and Kayla Dooling is working in stage managing, costuming, and
And these were all your students at one point in time? How old are you?
She's good.
Say now.
That doesn't seem possible.
so this is year 16 or 17.
Oh, wow. 16 or 17 years doing this, and you started when you were 12, right?
Yeah. So
The
is
Botox is working.
so is the Southview program any good? Are you okay? Are you?
You know,
It's a quality question.
Is it?
People
We're
need to
trying.
know.
Yeah.
we're trying. I'm proud of what we do.
Good.
You know, I always say, though, the things that I think make a successful show, like what I want the students to be able to step back from, and you have to be able to say yes to 4 things. Did you have fun?
Okay, good one.
Did you learn something?
Quality.
Were you part of a community? Did you feel accepted and part of a
Nice,
community?
nice.
And are you proud of what you did?
All good ones.
If you can say yes to those, then we had a successful production. I mean, there are certainly some things I look back and I'm like, ooh, I could have done that better. Ooh, I could have done that better. But there's also things that I'm like, holy heck. We had how many kids tap dancing last year that had no idea what a shuffle was? So really,
That's a huge accomplishment.
Right.
Exactly. And I bet they all had fun doing
that.
it.
And is Shep really mean and swear
Oh,
and stuff?
Mike. No.
No?
We call her Mama Shep for a reason.
Oh, Mama
Okay.
Chef. Okay. There's a lot of feelings that always have to be involved in any of the casting, all kind of stuff. So you're saying those 4 rules apply to every show, or is that for
That's my
the
goal.
experience of the career at the high school?
Yeah, I would say that's every show, like what I want my goal for them to be. I recognize, sorry guys, we're not putting on Broadway theater here. Like we're doing high school theater, and I
Yeah.
recognize that. Do I want it to be the best high school theater that we can do? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also recognize we're going to have some limitations.
Yeah.
So
No, I love that. That's what your goal is, though, is to teach and to do that. So teaching first. I always, you're a teacher first. Teach them all that
100%.
kind of stuff. So you don't
100%.
cast the same person in the lead every single time.
I try not to, but sometimes the most talented person, just like, I always use the example with sports, the quarterback is the quarterback, So sometimes you will see a lot of the same faces. These two, it so happens, these two happen to be my principal roles in the fall.
Yeah.
But there are also ones that have shifted around. I have a young man that has never done a show with us. He's a senior that's in a lead role.
Wow.
He's never done a show before. So I think that's kind of cool. We have freshmen that are in lead. So it's
Freshman?
really, yes.
A freshman. No.
Now, I will say, I really do try to. I do take seniority into
Yeah.
consideration sometimes, and I really try to make sure that if you are somebody who has done the show for 4 years, I'm going to find some way.
Try to get them something. yeah.
Something. You might have a line, or I'm going to make sure you're in that front row for the dance,
Right.
even if you have 2 left feet. But
Yeah.
just, you
they-
have paid your dues, you've given to the department. I want to try to support you
Right.
back.
Right. But if they just can't hit a note, they're not going to get the lead. Though.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You were the leads in the fall show. Was that the Monsters show?
She kills monsters.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, it's
You were a monster?
Oh no, I was Agnes and she's Tilly.
She was killing those monsters.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
I
They
was-
were
I
like
was-
vampire
I was she.
slayers.
I cry through it. I sobbed through it. Like, these guys think it's hard for them. They have no idea. I
Right.
am up the night before with a bottle or two of wine because every kid gets, and I learned this
They're
from
small bottles, so
yes,
it's okay.
very small. I learned this from Jo Beth Gonzalez from Bowling Green High School. She hands out letters to her students so that they don't go up to the call board and see a list, and you have some people crying and you have some people screaming with excitement. So she has letters that gives them feedback, and that's something that actually a lot of us in Northwest Ohio has taken from her, because one, it's making it truly educational. Letting
that's
the
a
student
great idea.
know these were your strengths, but also here are some areas to work on. And it also gives me a chance, if I do feel like, oh, I know this kid is going to be so disappointed, I can try to kind of cushion that blow a little bit. But I become it's so cheesy, but these are my children, as it says in the show. Like, I don't have kids. These are the closest I have. So knowing that some of them are going to be hurt with casting and whatnot, like it hurts my soul. But it also is so exciting because I tell the same story about Skylar all the time, and she knows what I'm about to say.
What's she going to say, Skylar? What's she going to say? I want to hear from you.
Okay. So basically, my freshman year, I auditioned for the fall play, and I remember I was walking on stage, and I was like, I am so scared right now, but whatever, it'll probably be fine. I was not audible at all, and she could not hear anything, and she had to look over and ask the assistant director if I was even speaking.
Oh, no.
It reminds me of that scene from Pitch Perfect, where they're like, is she even making noise? So to see somebody like Skylar, who came from there but has wanted it, and she has worked her butt off to get where she is, and like that's just, that's why I come back.
Can I poke you some more about this, Skylar? So why did you go onto a stage and sing if you were so about ready to puke?
Well, since I was a little kid, I've always just loved theater. I've loved watching it, and I've just always been like, that's what I want to do. And I like singing. I dedicate a lot of my time to it, and it just makes me happy. So even if I'm scared, if I'm going to have fun, then that's just what I want to do.
Dude, that's amazing. So you were just like, I just have to do it. I don't care. Get over myself and just do it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. I was just curious because a lot of people would not. A lot of people would run away. So I think that says a lot about your character to be able to say, no, I know what I want to do. I know what's required. I don't give a flying whatever that I'm scared, and I'm just going to do it. And that's what I hear that a lot of times. That's what bravery is. Bravery is not being scared and doing something. It's when you're scared and do it anyway. And that's impressive. So,
and though if I remember correctly, she did not make it her freshman year in the fall.
You didn't cast her because you couldn't hear, yeah.
But you still did work set crew, didn't you?
Okay,
yeah, I
awesome.
did.
Which I think is so important. And
that's amazing.
What I tell the freshmen a lot is sometimes it's just learning, getting that confidence to come back and to realize, this is the expectation. This is what I need to do in an audition. So I try to prepare them for that before any audition of, hey, this is how you need to go in. Yeah. Confident, not cocky. Professional, but
I'm
lighthearted.
screwed. I'd be confident, not cocky part.
But on this side, your first audition, you probably belted it out.
Miss Cheerleader over here.
Yeah.
I think I probably did belt it. Yeah, it was for Urinetown, the musical.
Oh, nice choice already. That was the first. You guys both auditioned for Urinetown?
I almost did it because I said Urinetown.
What is
but
that?
I did.
Did you never heard of Urinetown before?
No, I hadn't. I'm so glad I did it. It's probably my favorite show I've ever done.
Honestly, so many people, that is such a silly thing, like what you just did there, not to make fun of you, obviously, sorry about that. But it's not making fun, but it's a lot of people will judge a show based on just what it's called. Mm-hmm. And I know that Urinetown is one of those shows where people hear it and go, that's not a show I think I want to see.
Or they think it's inappropriate.
Having nothing.
And it's so squeaky clean.
They have, super. They have, the main characters couldn't be any squeaky cleaner, the girl. But it's they have no idea what the show is. And it's Avenue Q sounds like a cute little puppet show.
Oh, girl.
Right? And you're no. See? And then they're getting up at intermission and leaving.
Yeah, right. Because puppets are having sex.
I thought it was a puppet show. I had no idea that this is going to be the way it was. You were talking again about, the quarterback's a quarterback, which means, obviously, casting the show, if you have a good lead person singing a perfect part, just because he's a quarterback, that doesn't mean he can be an offensive lineman.
Right.
See? So you got to mix it up, right? The guy who plays Ogre in Shrek probably is not the same guy who's going to be playing the lead in Avenue Q, for example.
And that is one of the things we were just talking about in my career tech class is types and knowing your type and understanding your type. It's great that you think, I can play any role.
Right.
And I will say that, especially New York and Broadway, the pendulum has really swung so that they are being a lot more diverse, which is wonderful. But there still are types.
Not really. Lurch
know?
has to be 7 foot tall.
Right. And that's kind of what I was trying to help them understand. Understand this now versus when you get out there and you're like, but I can play this. And I was like, no,
Right.
you're not.
Exactly.
And
Not
Kyle,
all the time.
you've preached to your kid who is in theater that if you don't get the lead, suck it up.
Suck
and
it up,
be
man.
Be the best chorus.
Yeah, be the best.
Be
Whatever
the one
there.
in chorus that everyone watches.
Exactly. So what is the show we're doing
so
in the
often,
spring? Oh,
one
sorry.
thing real quick. No. And I think so often everyone's like, I want to be the lead. So often the lead is not the most fun role. And
A
it's
lot of
not the
times.
most memorable role.
Totally.
I think back to Mary Poppins a few years ago, and who was remembered? This one right here who played Miss Andrews, which only even appeared for a scene or two in the second act. But
thought you were
that was the role that everyone's like, oh my God, who was that?
I don't even know who Miss Andrews is.
Exactly.
The evil? Was she evil?
the evil
She was
nanny,
the
yeah.
evil nanny.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought maybe you were going to be the chimney sweep. I wasn't sure.
You know, I was right after. I went and changed
You were
real
one of
quick.
the dancing chimney sweeps, yeah.
Yep.
Out there
Costume
feeding the
change,
pigeons.
yeah.
And
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right though. Sometimes the person who is the lead can sometimes have the you got to be serious and you can't be out of craziness. So it can be a little less awesome. But, whichever. So what is the show you guys are doing here in this spring coming
Finally.
up? Yeah.
Fame.
I'm going to live forever.
Oh yeah.
We
That's what
were
you're doing,
supposed
Fame?
to do it 2020. And we all know
Okay.
what happened. 2020. We
What
were
happened?
halfway through. This little thing shut down. I don't know why. People started
Still
coughing.
talking about this dumb thing.
But we were supposed to do it.
180 episodes in, we're still bringing it up.
History.
We were supposed to do it then. We were about halfway through the rehearsal process and
no.
it got canceled.
Oh.
I have no idea why Ron just cracked
Well,
himself.
every story was that.
Yeah, halfway through
right.
it got canceled.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So at first I just said, okay, the show's cursed. We're never going to do it again.
Mm.
But then I always think about who are my kids this year? Who do I
Yeah,
have?
yeah.
I don't know how other directors, God love them, can choose their show. They're like, I know what I'm doing for the next 5 years. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Right.
So I'm always shocked when they know what they're doing next season because these guys knows I have actually shown up to announce a show with 2 contracts in my hand going, which one am I going to announce?
really? For
Yeah.
real?
Yeah, I hate making decisions. But Fame
Which
was...
makes you great for casting.
Shut up. It took me a second to get that. Well, I decided my college by flipping a coin. So if that tells you
okay,
anything,
yeah.
decisions aren't my forte. Anyways, I said it's the curse show. We're never going to do
No,
it. Put it
tapping's
in
your
the
forte.
past. It's true. But I thought about the kids I had this year, and I knew I wanted something that was more pop rock.
Yeah.
It was a year for that, and I was like, wait a second.
You had some
Wait a
dancers. You
second.
had some dancers.
Oh, yes, but a lot of my dancers are hurt right now.
that's
My 3 strongest dancers are very broken, but they are making it work. One is in a wheelchair and she's spinning herself
What?
around. Yeah, it's so my strongest dancers, honestly, right now are hurt, but they are making it work.
All right.
And yeah.
Talk about inclusive casting. Good job.
But that's important to me. So that going along with that, we do have students that are, whether it is they're on the spectrum or they're special needs, or they maybe are with a limp. I mean, I've had kids in wheelchairs and everything else. It doesn't matter. I can make you look good.
Okay. So obviously this is a huge dance show.
Pretty big, yeah.
Pretty big. Not
I
huge.
honestly think Anything Goes was a bigger dance show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't agree.
No. Well, as a person who's never seen Fame, I've never saw the stage production of it.
It's so much better.
It's a reason to
than-
come and see it. Obviously.
Yes, and the music is so much better than the movie. I think.
Okay.
So the only song that's the same is Fame.
Fame.
Everything
Oh,
else
wow.
is different. And I love the stage version. I just think is so much better, and the music is so much better.
Okay. Well, good. That's a heck of a selling point for me. Obviously, as
Yeah.
somebody who's never seen the stage performance, I've been hesitant to come see a stage performance because it's Fame.
Right.
And I'm like, I know it already, and I generally tend to I don't know. I guess I'm a theater prude in that regard. Where it's like I already know the story. I already know the show. Makes me concerned that it's going to be just like a bunch of pop songs thrown together.
No,
And
no,
it's not like that at all.
The music actually moves it forward, and yeah,
Okay.
it's not a jukebox musical.
Oh, okay. Good.
It's
Good.
not.
Good.
Nope.
That's what I want to hear.
Nope. It also has some really serious issues. So it's nice to be able to get to work on that with the students. So yes, it is light and happy and fluffy, but it deals with drug addiction, and one of the characters overdoses. And it deals with someone being illiterate. We're looking at people of different backgrounds, of whether they're rich or they're poor, and how that affects them. So there's just a lot of different layers, particularly when you get to the second act. So that's really fun to explore.
Okay. Well, does Shep go over the show with you before any of this stuff? Like before you even audition for it? Does she explain what the heck's going on? Like there's going to be a drug overdose in the thing. Does that come up?
She expects us to kind of do our own work, but she gives us the resources to do so.
Okay, like what? Google?
Well, on our southviewtheatre.com.
Oh, there you go.
YouTube,
She'll a lot of times give us like a link to go to read it or to watch it somewhere. But I think that's part of going into an audition. You should prepare yourself. So we kind of, some of us are familiar, some of us just walk in like, what's up?
I know that not everybody has the same access as well. So something that we've done since I've been here is we teach them the songs that they're going to sing for audition. So girls and guys will each sing 2 songs. So I know some schools, and there's nothing wrong with this. This is what I did back in the day. But you could come in and sing Happy Birthday, or you were expected to come in with sheet music and know it yourself. Some of these students are in voice lessons every week, and some of them are like, what's a voice lesson? So we just want to make sure to at least give everybody some type of equal footing. So they will have their songs in advance that we'll teach them. We'll teach them the dance in advance so they can be as prepared or not prepared as they want to be. So they have the character breakdowns and whatnot. But yes, if they are smart, they will go to the YouTube and find those productions that we know don't exist there.
So for this particular, but what are you talking about? The show, where they have different names on them and stuff.
Slime.
Fame slime tutorial.
What's that?
Fame slime tutorial.
Fame slime tutorial.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they name them and even use the word fame is funny to me. Usually it's like the show about a dance school in New York, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Dancing eggs. Yeah.
Dancing eggs. That's the one. for something rotten. That's the one. So they all sing the same kind of song then for whatever characters they want, probably, right?
Yep. So we try to give them to my vocal director, and I will give them 2 songs, and we usually try to contrast them. So,
2 songs.
if it's,
okay.
Yep. So if it's, and it's just 32 bars or less. So it's not even a whole song. It's just a chunk of it. So we might see like, okay, we'll give them a soprano song and a more alto belting song, or we'll give them a ballad and an up tempo, so that regardless of your vocal type, one's really going to probably challenge you, and one's going to hopefully fit better in your voice.
Okay.
But that way we can see, okay, what can you do?
I was just curious about that because sometimes it's like, how do you know from that one snippet then they have to sing all these songs?
Right. So that's why we give them the contrasting ones. And then if we want to hear more, we bring them back to a callback, and we might say, hey, listen to these songs prior to coming, or we might vocalize them. We usually try to choose a duet so that we can hear partners sing against each other to see, okay, can you actually hold your harmony? I was not one of those people that could
That's tough.
back in my
That's
day.
tough. Especially like you said, with all the different ranges
Right.
of experience.
Right. And then
know.
seeing chemistry between people as well. How do they act with each other? Because some people are just awkward as heck together, you know, but they're fine with somebody else. So
Yeah. I'm fine with Ron, but outside of that, I'm awkward. Very awkward all the time.
How are you going to get them all on this little stage? Because this is the Titanic. This is the biggest stage I've ever seen.
It's
this
one
is
of
like
them.
I love it. It's a blessing and a curse. It really is a blessing and a curse. So our stage is almost 60 feet wide, and we have close to 40 feet deep. So it is not that much smaller than the Stranahan, which
wow.
is, we have no fly space. So for sets, we are very limited in set what we can do. Our proscenium's very short, so I can't build anything if I want the students to stand on it over about 4 feet tall.
And
or else
for
it cuts it off
anybody
their
not
head.
there, proscenium means it's the opening of the stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fly space means a lot of times you can take backdrops and they'll actually be stored up above where the stage is, or set pieces are stored up, walls are stored up there. So I love it because I have had up to 70 students in a show on stage leaping and dancing and singing and made them all fit. And But it's also really hard when you do a smaller show that doesn't need that much
Then you need
space.
to close in the space
Right.
somehow, right?
Right.
Half the curtains closed or whatever. and-
Exactly.
yeah. But you have a lot of space here, obviously, for set pieces to be pushed off to the side.
Yeah, but when you add in the students and add in the set pieces, because again, so many other schools and places will have the set stored up above in the fly rack, and we don't have that. So there's a lot of things. It's clean. We just had our big OMEA competition for band was here this past weekend. So right now the wings are really clean and empty, and they won't look like that for long.
Gotcha. So we're getting a not realistic representation
This
of
is
what it will
true.
be.
This
Right
is
now,
true.
I'm like, look at all this space. What are you talking about? I can move in here and just live.
Yeah.
And you're saying, why are there blue lights behind the stage? What's going on there?
Safety.
Okay, but that's just like less obvious for the audience. Then?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Just so when you're backstage there, you can still see where you are and not die.
Not die. That's
So you guys, do you go to other high school shows to see what they're doing a lot
Absolutely.
with toilet paper?
Oh,
No.
Not
Oh, did
usually.
they hang them out there in the audience? No.
No.
So how many shows have you done here, Gabby?
This will be my 8th show at Southview.
8th show.
Yes.
So you've done every show basically that's happened.
Basically.
Because you're doing a couple a year, and that's
Yep.
2 times a couple of years.
Yeah,
That's-
that equals
That
8.
equals 8. Yeah. And you did all the shows probably too then, right? You guys are
Yep.
just hardcore.
Sheesh.
Man, that says a lot though. I like
We
to
love
point
it.
out that because they keep coming back, it must not be terrible.
they're a glutton for punishment. I love them. You had mentioned about going to see other high school shows, and that is something that I can say that we have a group called 10, the Theater Educators Network, and it is theater teachers and directors from all over Northwest Ohio. And we've really tried to encourage our students to go and support other schools and see live theater.
Nice.
So a lot of us will offer comp tickets, like, hey, here's 5 comps to my show to give to your students,
Whoa.
so that they can go see live theater. So there's several of us that do that, but that's one thing that I really try to promote. I send out a weekly email about theater around town to all the different area directors so that they have the posters and if there are any comps or anything, just so it keeps us all kind of in the loop. But it's a great organization too, because we share props, we share costumes, we talk about best practices. But the comps is great because then our students can see.
Are you
see
too
shows.
aware that Mama Shep sends out it's a spreadsheet of all the upcoming shows and all that kind of stuff, and they have contributors to that,
Like 100 high schools on it, or
and she was sweet enough to include us in this to have access to it, so we can see what other schools are doing.
That's so
I found that out from you. I think I found it out from you. Somebody told me you had this thing and was like, oh my gosh, and it's been invaluable for us to be able to look at it and see what's coming up, because it's a dynamic spreadsheet.
Yes.
Everybody can get into. So I click on it tomorrow, and somebody could have added a show to
Yes, because a lot of times directors don't want to announce their show right away. They want to build it up for the big reveal and everything. So a lot of
How
times
is
we might
Stage Door the
just...
podcast supposed to know if you guys don't tell us?
No, it'll just say though, like mine just says spring musical, and for me, it's not because I haven't revealed; it's because I haven't chosen.
Because you have,
Right.
you have 2 contracts in your hand still. Exactly.
yeah.
But we need to. It's good for us because we know when dates and when things are going to happen, and if they did put the shows in there, then it helps us again to say, we're going to be doing this one. We don't do She Loves Me, and when we just did She Loves Me, it's like
Right.
that doesn't make any sense to do it again back to back. So it helps us to help plan too. So we appreciate you, even over down at WTOL. So wow, when's the show?
April 18th through the 21st.
April 18th to the 21st, right here, and it sounds like you can go to Sylvania South. There's a
Southviewtheater.org.
Yes,
Spelled the pretentious way.
southviewtheater.org.
THEATRE.
Yeah, the right
I like
way.
to pretend I'm British. So
The
those tickets
theatre.
will be on sale about 2 weeks prior to open. We want to make sure that we take care of our patrons that have purchased advertisements and get comps. We want to make sure we get them tickets first, and then the immediate families tickets first. So about 2 weeks prior, about April 1st.
Okay, so
tickets
right
will
when
be
this
on sale.
podcast drops. This will
Yes,
drop
won't
2
that be
weeks before.
perfect?
So if you're
Yeah.
hearing this, there's a
on
great
now.
chance that tickets are available and ready to go and everything. Costuming and all that kind of stuff. Who are the people that are helping? I want to hear about some of the people in the show. I want to hear about people that are helping. I want
Music
to make sure we
director
get,
and-
I'm going to give out some
So
shout
vocal
outs.
director is Samantha Ulrich, who is our choir teacher here. Our pit conductor is Megan Fitzpatrick.
You have a pit. See, that's
Yes,
what I wanted to
live
hear
pit.
that.
And that's the other thing is I do consider the pit when choosing a show as well, because we have kids that want to be involved in that way.
Okay,
and
so
it'll
students
actually,
are in the pit?
Oh, absolutely,
Oh,
yeah. I
awesome.
prefer it to be 100% students. Sometimes we have certain instruments that we just don't have students playing, but
the oboe.
this one, this one, all but 2 are students.
Wow.
And actually some of those students will even be walking up on stage because it's a performing arts high school, so they literally will be walking up from the pit to be on stage, which is pretty cool.
I love that.
Yes.
So that's cool. So you have the pit, you have the costumers. Did you say that one already?
That's me.
That's you. Okay.
So this, you can't really rent for this show. We are getting a couple things.
No, we're doing fame, not rent.
Right.
No.
Say it again.
You can't rent.
These guys are hilarious.
Do the students get to costume themselves?
They are a little bit this show, yes.
Okay.
Just because there's not a lot to
No,
rent
it's
yet.
great.
It's still very go to the thrift store and get something. So I've been asking them to bring things in. But also, trends are so cyclical that
It's a
some
modern-
of these
yeah.
things have really come back. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like ankle, like leg warmers?
No,
from
no,
the
Ron-
80s? No.
All the girls are begging, can I wear leg warmers? Do I get leg warmers? Am I going to wear leg warmers? And all I said is,
no.
please just don't wear fluorescent head to toe.
Well, what you're wearing now would work. Exactly what you're wearing now would work on stage.
I'm trying to channel Carmen Diaz right now.
I mean,
Trying
no,
to dress
for real.
like
I
her.
mean, it's one of those things that when you finally get to do a non-period piece as a performer, you're like, oh, I can wear tennis shoes.
Right.
Right.
I get to wear
Yeah.
canvas cons.
Don't have to
on
be in
the
my
stage.
character's shoes.
Yeah.
Like squeezed in.
Though it's funny because as I was showing them pictures from the 80s and I'm doing research on, what exactly they wore and whatnot, because we have that cliche idea of what the 80s is. And most of
No.
the 80s wasn't that. Like, okay, that's a good Halloween costume. That's cute. But no, not everyone's looking like Madonna there.
No.
So I'm getting like from the Sears catalog and the JCPenney catalog. And some of the kids are like, that's not cute. And I was like, I know.
Sears,
But it is.
Sears
But
catalog.
well, think about it. In 1981,
Well, not
That's-
everybody was cool. Okay, that's just the truth. Okay, not everybody had a
So-
bunch of money to go to concerts and be wearing their Def Leppard T-shirts.
Right.
Okay, they had to just wear whatever the heck mom got them at Kmart and just
right,
deal with it.
the denim on denim was a look.
Oh yeah, the denim. on
It
denim.
wasn't a good one, but it was popular. But I also love that I am not a hip hop dancer. There is no hip to the hop in me. I
to
got
the
nothing except 1980s, 90s hip hop. So I'm like, this works out. So we get to Roger Rabbit and Running Man and all those old school things.
Those are dances.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know what the
Yeah,
Roger
those
Rabbit.
were ones
and-
I can remember doing like at my dance studio, but also at like my junior high dances.
Oh, okay. And roller skating in the roller skating rink. That music when you're like, I know this song. This is about ready to be my slow dance roller skating.
Exactly.
I think we covered a bunch of stuff, and I love having you on, obviously. But I again, is there anything else you want to say that I didn't want to leave anybody out? Like who you want to do shout outs for
Yusuf.
friends and stuff?
Oh my goodness, the most important person. Yes,
Yeah?
you dog. The assistant director who is my world. He is an alumni.
Okay.
He is amazing and the students adore him. He's great. He is
Does he have a real name besides you, dog?
Yusuf Badar. Yusuf Badar. So he
Okay.
graduated, I think, 2010, 2011, 2012, and he has asked me for years, when can I come back and help? When can I come back and help? When can I come back and help? And I was like, hey, you dog. The kids
And you
actually called
said,
him you dog.
I'll give you 10 years, and then you can come back.
Well, my big thing is you can't know anybody in the school.
Oh.
Like, I want to make sure, like, especially if there's little siblings or something, like, that's their time. Like, it's their moment to
Interesting,
have
yeah.
that. You let them
That's
have
why I
that.
don't do theater. That's my kids. Let them have the glory. I don't
So,
know.
yeah, you dog. And we are hoping to partner with, I still need to get a hold of the organization, but we are hoping to partner with an area organization, hopefully the Prevention Alliance, since there is that issue with the overdose and drug use, or rather
okay.
abuse. So I just want to make sure that everything is very, again, educational and handled with sensitivity. So we're going to take some of our proceeds from our Stargrams and our swag sales to donate to that.
All right, cool. One more time. When's the show?
April 18th through the 21st.
Oh, you dorks.
7 p.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2:30 on Sunday.
And they can get the tickets.
Southview Theatre, spelled the British way, theatre.org, and that'll be starting April 1st.
Okay, you have a Facebook page?
Duh.
Okay.
Southview Theatre, I think,
Yeah,
and the
but-
Instagram page, Southview Theatre.
There you go. And I'm sure there's a link to the
Yep.
everything on there. And
Yep.
if you guys follow them, you can go and get them then. All right, make sure you guys sell this out, right?
Oh yeah.
You hope?
Come on.
We're dancing on the sidewalk.
It's
Get
hard
ready.
work.
That's right. Sell it out. They're putting the work in, people.
And we're putting, well, these are all show titles.
Oh, are they?
But
Oh,
we
you
just
guys
did
are being
puns.
clever.
We're making puns, and
Yes.
you have to come see the show to get the puns.
Because I was
Dancing
that-
on the
Dancing
sidewalk.
in the-
Yep, that-
Dancing in the
That was
ceiling.
the
Yeah.
hints for this year, and the kids are like, "Shep, these are not good hints." And I was like, "Once you know the show, you're gonna be like, oh my god,
Now
that's
they
me."
make sense. You have to know the show exactly. You
Yeah,
did it last time with the other ones. You always do that, don't you? These
Kind of clever.
kind of punny. You're a punny girl, are you?
I'm trying. Make it interesting.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.